Hey guys, it's Zach Butler of Titan Esports here. Just finished third place at the Fargo, North Dakota Regional in January 2018. It's a second showing for our team, second successful showing because the first weekend was really embarrassing. Second weekend in a row we've topped with the ABC, so that's really exciting. Big shout outs before anything else to Joe Bogley, Justin Singh, Marcus Hayden, especially those three for theorying with me on the build. And yeah, we got this neat little Akashic Magician mat and another pink deck box.
Throw it on the ground.
That's cool. So I'll just show you guys the deck, and then I'll kind of explain a little bit of what's like the theory behind it, and then I'll have a more in-depth video on the Titan Esports Facebook and stuff too. So make sure to check that out, and that's about it. So let's show you guys the deck. So like I said, it was ABC. It's really simple. So for monsters, you got 3A, 3B, and 2C. So this ratio was pretty standard for a while. We ended up, Joe initially played 3 of each with a couple other people in the group. We were deciding between like 3 Bs and all that stuff. I decided we'd go with 3-3-2 because these are the two that actually extend your plays the best. And C is just the worst one to start off with. And we're looking to always do the Ancient Fairy Decode combo turn 1. So we just played 8 ABC pieces, 2 chickens. This card sucks. The worst card. I decided it out in like every matchup. When I was theorying with my friend Aaron Thompson, every single side deck, like in and out we did. Every in and out we did, we would always take this card out because it's just awful. But game 1 is not the worst card. I don't know. This next package is crazy. We got double Destrudo and Darkworm. This is like actually just what makes the deck insane. So basically, if you can open up with one of these two, a Dragon Ravine, a Terraforming, a Set Rotation, or any of those, and a way to get to a piece, you can end on Deco Talker, Buster with an extra card in hand off of just 2 cards. And all day that play was really strong. Also, like there were times where like I would summon Ash and then I would just use Destrudo to make it a level 4, and then I could like Ancient Fairy Dragon away with the Ash, and then like Omega or something with the Destrudo. That came up a few times. You've got, for hand traps, 3 Ash, 3 Ogres, and Maxi. This is a little different from my Wisconsin list. Initially I played Gammas as well. I decided to drop the Gammas because that card is just terrible. It's always a brick, and the only cards you're really worried about stopping, you can't really stop when you have a monster, because Cherries is like one of the most impactful cards against this deck, obviously, because Buster is your win condition. And so I just chose to go with Ogre, which is good against a variety of decks, and I played against 7 different decks in 8 different rounds. I played, I don't remember everything, and then 2 Draco. And Ogre was good against like basically everything. So that was the monsters. Spells, you've got 3 hangers, because we like to hang out, you know. 2 ravines, Avril Ravine, as I call that card. 3 terraformings, 1 more cooler terraforming, the rotation of setting. Just 2 desires. This is just because I was at 42 cards initially, and I wanted to just cut down on 3rd desires. I didn't feel like it would come up that often, and I really haven't been a big fan of this card lately. And I had like the worst luck where 2 rounds in a row I banished all 3 A's off of desires, which is awesome and anecdotal evidence as to why, you know, desires is a bad card. But that was fun. 2 Twin Twisters, just because I wanted to be able to punish bad Spiral players. The only Spiral player I played against, Brian Kalina, did not do the one misplay that I've seen a lot of Spiral players do. Well, they will target their last resort with, or they'll target their sleeper with Twin Twisters. And so then I'll, like, you know, Twin Twisters away, or with their effect, and there's this giant misplay that I'd seen, and it didn't happen. Foolish Burial, because that card's fucking amazing. The trap lineup is pretty spicy. Big shout out to Joe Bogley for this one, and Tom Diskin for hooking me up with the 3 sexy super mind crushes. Can't be using commons or ultras, you know. Can never do that. 2 floodgate trap holes. This card was insane all day. I don't have a CP bottomless because I don't know. Life is hard right now. You know, gotta pay the bills. Can't be buying those CP bottomlesses. But I have a skill drain. That's cool. This trap lineup was really good. This is one of the reasons why I was doing so well. Mind Crush in the main deck was incredible. No one really expected it. And it wasn't even for evenly matched. It was actually just for like everything else. Players were constantly just not respecting it, and it would just the information you got was almost like hitting a drone. And then I want to talk about these cards for a minute because this card is incredible. Ryan Levine already talked about it in depth a lot, but essentially this card just shuts off spirals. Especially when you have a hand trap, you can allow them to resort into their double helix play, and then when they go to search master plan and they summon it, you activate this, and then their turn is done. Or they summon drone off of, or whatever, and then you do this, and their turn is done. Against Pendulum Magician, when they go to Pendulum Summon, you do this, the game's over. Like, they can't play. This card is just super powerful. Oh, sorry. Shout out to Yugi, Heart of the Cards. Can't forget my boy. Extra deck. We've got. Get the fuck out of here. 3 Buster, because that card is busted. Omega, mostly for cherries. Black Rose Dragon. Double Ancient Fairy Dragon. This came up a lot. Just with the combos and stuff, you burn through the one in the turn 1, and then later on, a lot of the times, especially with the side deck card I had, you really wanted to see this card. So that's pretty cool. Baguska, because we're tired. So you have no idea. When you get to Fargo at 3 a.m. and then you don't get to bed till 6:30 a.m. and then you have to wake up at 8 to go play a friggin' Yu-Gi-Oh tournament, you are a terribly tired tapier, let me tell you. And then Tornado Dragon, Traptrix Reflasia for that dank trap lineup. This card was really underwhelming all day, but it's really cool just to like summon it. But I mean, it was alright. It just baited out Kaijus more. That was kind of neat. Akashic Magician, Double Helix for cherries, Proxy Dragon, Decode Talker, because we like to decode, and Borolo Dragon. This card is pretty good. Summon it once. My opponent instantly scooped. Save that side deck card for last, because that was the reason I won half my games. So for side deck, you got 3 cherries. This is alright. Wasn't the greatest, wasn't too bad. 3 evenly matched. Despite what Alex might tell you, the base volley would be wrong. This is an even match when this card resolves. This card is actually ass, and I would not cite it again. It was never good. At all, and it follows along with the theory that I've been telling people for a long time that evenly matched is actually just a very underwhelming card, and it only punishes bad players, and people weren't so dumb that they were just auto-losing to it. So 3 Magical Spring, because that's a cool card. For Pendulum Magician, which I never played against. 2 D Barrier for the Invoked and Pendulum matchups, just to kind of make it. The Invoke matchup is like kind of an auto loss, and I was a little worried about that. These were originally Regeki and Dark Hole. They wouldn't have been much better. So, and then the last 4 cards in my side deck were really huge because I don't fucking know. 3 Pot of Acquisitiveness, because like everyone and their mother was playing Cherries and Buster today, and I'm not about that life. The only 3 times I ever actually saw this card, it was instantly live because they would Cherries my Buster, and I was like, neat, thank you for the +1. I hope you enjoy your life. And they were very sad. Also, it's good against Pendulum Magician if they do like the double Omega play. You can like shuffle back 2 of their Omegas on one of your cards that's like less impactful, and you still get your card back and you draw a card. And they've just invested a bunch of resources. Or like Spirals. I mean, I guess you can shuffle back their Helixes if you're feeling generous, but I don't know how you do that because they have good lives, they're privileged. And then the last card was Closed Forest. This is the biggest card of the day. This went in against basically every deck. So what it does is Beast Monsters gain 100 attack points, which is huge. That matters a lot in a machine-based deck. But neither player can activate field spells while it's on the field. And then during the turn that it's destroyed and sent to the graveyard, neither player can activate a field spell. So essentially, you would just like activate this and end on Buster, Jesus Lord. You'd summon this, end on Buster, and no matter what they did, there was almost no outs. Outside of like evenly matched, in which case you would then just Buster the resort, and then they would just lose. It came up a lot where like you could do like your Ancient Fairy combo, and then instead of searching like another ravine for the next turn, you just search this, then activate it, and then they were just like done. That's the deck. Big shout outs to Aaron, Milady, Tom Diskin, Terrence for recording. Oprah, because she's always an inspiration. 2020, baby. 2020. Trying to think of who else to shout out. Shout out to Joe Dietrich for not being a cucklord this day. He did pretty well. Yeah. Oh, shout out to Sean Hillard for topping. That was cool. It was his only loss, and then he decided to beat the next 7 people in one of the most splendid fashions possible with Trickstar, because that's somehow still a deck. Yeah, that's about it.
All right, man. Well, thank you for the profile, and congratulations again on another top. And again, we'll do it again next time.
Thank God.